This is the Kozy Corner podcast. I'm BTL and I'm here with Ember. What did you do, Ember?
I feel a little sad actually.
Why do you feel a little sad?
Because it was like it's supposed to be this is
This
the Kozy
is
Corner podcast.
Lo siento. Do you want me to do a do-over?
No, just let the people be disappointed. It's fine.
Okay. I remember last season you gave me some knack for it.
No, I'm still giving you knack.
You can follow us on the Twitters. That's at Kozy Corner Show. All one word with a K and a Z. And what is our Insta?
Corner the Kozy.
Corner the Kozy. We are on the SoundClouds and the official podcast app. And all episodes, past and present, available at cozycornerpodcast.com. How are you doing today, Amber?
Good. You're not going to bring up the fact that we are on the YouTubes? We're on the YouTube. Today's our first day on the YouTube.
Oh, the fact that we're on video.
This is the first, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. We are now going to be doing all the episodes with video included.
Yeah, we'll see how that is.
So, in the news today, well, not today, over the past couple days, the R.Kelly documentary's been blasting off.
We're going straight to the R.Kelly, huh?
Straight to R.Kelly, yeah.
So, you haven't watched the documentary at all?
I've not, but I've seen Space Jam. How dissimilar are the two?
I thought I knew the story.
Uh-huh.
And then I watched it, and I realized, holy shit, I don't know the story at all. Like, this shit's crazy, the fact that this is happening.
So what did you feel like you knew before you watched the documentary, and then what surprised you as you were watching it?
Okay, so I knew when R. Kelly was like popular, I was in middle school, maybe early high school. If not, maybe even younger than that. Yeah, so I remember there being like a trial because he had that video that he supposedly like peed on a 14-year-old. And I feel like that's been a butt of a lot of jokes.
Does he have a song? Is I Want to Piss on You, or is that a
joke?
No,
that's actually a Dave Chappelle song. Like, it was like a bit from Dave Chappelle, which is freaking funny.
Right.
So, all I knew was that, and I knew that I liked his music.
Right.
And basically, that's where it stops. But now, reevaluating, like, there's a joke that Aziz Ansari was saying that was like, and I saw this live when I saw him, was that R. Kelly can get away with anything because, like, he would do the most raunchiest stuff in his shows. And now, after watching the documentary, one, I was shocked. I cried. I was disgusted more than anything. I feel like these stories need to be heard, regardless of how you feel. Like, I think it was really important. I'm really glad that Lifetime did it.
R. Kelly hasn't watched the documentary, apparently.
Well, they also say something about him not reading and writing very well. Like, multiple people talk about him not being able to read and write. So, even if there's, like, a lot of things, like, you know, that are written, and I'm like, who's reading that to him? Like, who's going to be reading that to him?
Okay.
He's illiterate.
So, at what point did along in your life, because you were an R. Kelly fan before you found out about these things, at what point did you find out about these things, but you started to maybe not listen to his music as much because of these things?
After the documentary.
Just after the documentary. So before you saw the documentary, you were still like a fan, still watching and listening. And
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he had a song with Chance the Rapper, and I think it came out in 2016, 2017, if I'm not mistaken. And I mean, I probably still have that song in my playlist. Like, I listen to it. And not anymore. I mean, it doesn't matter how good the music is. He's a monster.
This is very curious, and I think you know where I'm going.
Yeah, because we've talked about this
We've talked about this, but you said that there was no point. Music, like, the music is just the music, and there's a detachment between the music and the artist and their character and their personal beliefs.
Yeah.
So, curious as to why you don't feel that way in this scenario, in this case.
I think it's because I feel like if you are still enjoying his music, you are belittling these women's stories.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna say his music isn't good. There's he's horrible, terrible music, like the most awful music. Because I'd be fucking lying. That's a lie. His music is good and it's catchy, and that's why another reason why he probably got away with this for so long. But there comes a point where you're not a human anymore and you're a monster, and he crossed that line. There's a line there where it does you can't enjoy the music without supporting a monster, like straight up evil, disgusting. Like I want you to watch it so bad, but it is like a commitment because I think it's like 6 parts. So it's a lot.
Are they all like an hour long or something?
I don't know. I did laundry and I was just watching them like back to back to back to back to back in Lifetime. It's powerful, and I think this is it for him.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh.
I would be so shocked if this wasn't it for him.
This could have the power to potentially take R. Kelly down. However, honestly, because of royalty payments and just mailbox money, as the industry calls it, he'll probably be okay for the rest of his life if he never released a new song again.
He was trending on Apple Music.
That's true.
Supposedly he was trending on Spotify as well.
Yes, and that's also, there's a saying,
there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yes, that's it. Thank you. So this documentary, a lot of people started streaming his music and listening to it. And I saw it was trending on Apple Music, probably Spotify's no surprise as well. And the irony...
Well, Spotify dropped him for a little bit.
Really?
Yes. They stopped playing him. And they put him back on there. So Spotify took the stance once the whole Me Too movement happened. Because when the whole Me Too movement happened, there was also another, part of that was #mute R. Kelly. So, like, this was happening. I mean, Shonda Rhimes was a part of it, and she's powerful. This has been happening, but until the Lifetime, it was like the spotlight was just on R. Kelly, because we had Harvey Weinstein, we had Kevin Spacey, we had so many other people that we were focusing on, that R. Kelly wasn't in our radar.
Do you feel the Me Too movement is somewhat dying down, or this is a kind of like a like it's branching off into something larger?
Yeah, I think it's branching off to something larger. So, if for the Me Too movement, when it first started, I think there was just so many accusations all at once that it was kind of like hit, a little bit. But now, even with the Lifetime situation, I feel like they put a spotlight on R. Kelly so we can just see what he did. Because he did I do feel like with all the accusations, he kind of went under the rug. But it's like, no, we're not going to do that. Like, we will call you out on your shit.
So weren't these accusations were sort of there already? These things he did in the past, it wasn't new news, but would you say the Me Too movement like just brought all this shit from like his closet out, no pun intended? Like, do you think it just brought all this stuff out into the spotlight, more into the mainstream because of the Me Too movement?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I think without the Me Too, we've already seen how it was without the Me Too movement. This has already happened. He's already been in court. So we already saw what that is without the Me Too movement. Now with the Me Too movement, I think there's a lot more celebrities speaking out. John Legend was one of them. That it's not bravery. You just have to kind of do what's right. And it's basically what you have to do. So for the R. Kelly thing, to wrap it up, because I don't want the whole thing to be the R. Kelly thing, because I'm sure everybody has talked about it already.
Right.
But it's important to watch. No more listening to R. Kelly. If you're really curious about his lyrics to his songs, because that's like one of the excuses that I've heard. That was like, oh, I want to hear this specific song because I heard that this song talks about
Oh, this and this and addresses
this and addresses that. And then
Right.
there's a song called I Admit. And supposedly this is a song where he admits everything. If you really need to know what he's saying in these songs, you Google the lyrics and don't listen to the music. And that's basically what you have to do. Because putting money in this pocket is putting money into a monster.
So, in lighter news, Danny DeVito is joining the Jumanji cast
I knew it.
in the sequel, which I don't know if it's been named yet. What role do you think? I've only seen the headline, so I haven't read into further detail. What do you think Danny DeVito's role will be in Jumanji?
I'm not sure. I mean, Danny DeVito's great.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you ever watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yeah, for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
I never knew that. I love that fucking show. He's so funny on
Yeah.
that show.
In the earlier seasons, but now it's not. Oh, it's like on FXX or something.
If it is it still
Yeah,
new seasons?
I think they're still doing it. It's pretty far along. They still.
I mean, I guess they don't update it on Netflix anymore because as soon as they update it on Netflix, I would watch it and binge it. I loved that show.
Well, I don't know if FX is doing their own streaming thing, like FX Now or something. A lot of people are doing their own streaming stuff.
What's your
these days.
favorite Danny DeVito movie?
I can only think of one.
Which one?
Matilda.
Yeah, Matilda's great, but Junior, wasn't he in one of these Disney movies, like the animated movies?
Oh yeah, he was the thing in Hercules. Right? Yeah, he was the small little thing with wings, and he had a 5 o'clock shadow. That may not have been him. You have no idea who I'm talking about. Do you know the movie Hercules?
Yeah, I love that movie.
Okay,
It's a great soundtrack.
the little guy that flies around.
The guy who's like, he's like a, what's it called when they're like a horse person?
Yeah, that guy.
Centipede? No, centipede?
No.
Just something.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. That guy.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're right. He like follows him around. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's him.
That's him. Is that your favorite Danny DeVito movie?
Matilda. I mean,
Matilda.
the last JetBlue flight we took, I like out of all the movies, there was new movies I've never watched. I watched Matilda.
Didn't he like write that or direct it?
Yeah.
Or he had something to do with.
I think he directed it or wrote it. But like at the end of the credits, like I watched this movie. It was amazing. Again, rewatching it in your adulthood, it's great.
You know what scene always gets me in that movie?
What?
The cake scene where that kid just eats too much cake and shoves it. And I think as a kid, when the lady was just like, I made it with like my blood, sweat, and tears. Like, yeah, the fudge to me for some reason after that point just seemed like it was blood and her sweat. And so when he was like wiping and trying to eat it and he was full, like it just was very like sickening to me as a kid because I'm just like, oh.
It's pretty gross.
Yeah.
No, it's
that
gross.
scene still holds up.
It does.
For sure.
It really does. No, I feel like Danny DeVito would totally fit in Jumanji. I mean, if he was in the original Jumanji, he would totally fit.
Now,
He's pretty timeless, that
I
man.
feel like, so they could take it like in one of two directions, right? Because I feel, which this first scenario I don't think they'll do, which is he's before the game, that's him. And then after the game, he turns into someone else. But I think it's going to be before a game scenario, then after a game scenario, someone's going to transform into him.
Yeah, someone has to transform into him because he'll have more screen time.
He'll be comic relief for sure. It's going to be interesting because in the last one, really, like Jack Black and Kevin Hart were sort of the comic relief. So
yeah, there were two of them, and they really complemented each other.
Yeah, so where he's going to fit into that is going to be interesting.
Well, for this storyline, they're gonna do a whole new storyline, right?
Yeah, but I'm like The Rock's gonna be in it. Like I think the cast is returning.
See, that doesn't make any sense. That's not.
So
It's not Jumanji.
Well, what is Jumanji really? We only had one movie to base it off of.
Yeah. Okay. So from you taking the first Jumanji and then the second Jumanji,
right?
What the fuck? You're gonna have the same characters? Then where's
I think The Rock is returning.
Where's Kristen Dunst? Where's Robin? Well. Fuck. My heart.
Yeah, if they really wanted to, I think they wanted to try to keep it separate from the original, but still complement the original at the same time. But yeah, if they wanted to, they could bring back some characters from the first one for sure. All right, so I believe I can hear the intro music back in, and I'm gonna break the fourth wall for a second and address that we recorded this a couple times. So first video released to the public of Kozy Corner. This is season 2, episode 2. If you had to think of one word to summarize this episode, what would it be?
Think of anything.
Danny.
Danny. Fine.
Danny boy. Danny boy. I like it. All right. So remember, you can listen to all past and present episodes of Kozy Corner at cozycornerpodcast.com. For Kozy Corner, I'm BTL.
I'm Ember.
Have a good night.
It is a